This
Installation is
conference will
completed.
now be recorded.
Installation is completed.
Can you please repeat, Kumar?
Installation is completed.
Installation I have received yesterday, today morning, some file, workstation, some exe, I guess, but I tried to install it twice, but it is asking me to restart the computer, but it is not doing nothing. I did it twice, actually restarted my computer twice.
But you can talk to Vamsi, right? Did you talk with Vamsi? Hello?
This conference will now be recorded.
Did you talk to Vamsi, Sunita? Hello? 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 Able to hear me? Hello?
Yes, Kumar, this is Bindu. I'm able to hear you.
Audible? Hello?
Yeah, Kumar, I'm able to hear you.
Okay. Okay, so last time we learned about reformat, right? A high level, right? So you have to define the DML and the reformat output. Okay, so definitely this is right required. And in general, you will have the propagate through option, right? So if you are selecting this propagate through, what will happen? I can pass the same DML to the output as well. Whatever I am getting from the input, the same DML I can pass to the output as well. Okay, but propagate through option is not available here. So what I can go with, I can go with the same as option, and I can go with the client's read port. Okay, so when we are going with the same as option, definitely this DML is not up to this component. This is something right from the different component I am taking the DML, right? From the different component I am taking the DML. So if you are editing the DML here, right, this will be not the addition in the, you're not editing the DML in the reformat, but you're editing in the input file, right? Why? Because you're following the input file, right? Port read of clients. You can see that from which component it is taking the DML, right? So you can change it to embedded, right? So that you can modify the DML at this component level. Okay, so now it is embedded, and here you can edit the DML, right? It's up to this component, right? So you can add some new columns. Okay, and I added some full name column here, and I have added the decimal column as well. Okay, so this way I have added 3 columns here, right? So within this, right, you can give some kind of fixed length DML also, right? Like I have added the pipe delimiter here. In general, you'll have the right all the fields with the same DML, right? Bindu, able to hear me?
Yes, Kumar.
Yes, Sunitha got dropped, I think. Just wait.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let her join. Any questions, Bindu, here? Hello?
Kumar.
You're good?
Yes.
Okay. So I have added these three columns, right, with the pipe separated here. But ideally, you'll have the same delimiter, right, across all the columns. Okay. So just I'm adding with pipe so that these three columns, right, will be deriving it. Okay, in the reformat. So in the parameters, you can see the transform, right? So which is the parameter transformation, right? Transform, which is a parameter, right? Transformation. So you can find, right, this transformation, you can write it. So click on new button. You'll find the input columns and output columns. Just you can map it like indoor star, right? So indoor star will map all the input fields to the output. And you will find the full name sequence opened in these three columns additionally, right? Which are new columns, right? So indoor star is like a state mapping, right? It's a state mapping. So provided the input and output field names are same, it will get mapped, right? So now coming to the full name, click on the edit button here, and then I just want to add the full name like from the first name and last name. Okay. So what I can do is I can go with the string concat, right? So string concat of first name, comma, last name. The string concat is a function from the string functions, right? So which will concatenate multiple string arguments. So you can pass any number of arguments within this, right? So I am passing this first name and last name concatenation. So click on OK and then map this to the full name. And sequence column. So this is like I just want to pass, right, the sequence numbers I want to generate. So, right, so I'll go with the next in sequence. This is the next in sequence is a function which will generate the numbers, right? Starting from 1, it will be keep on incrementing, right? So it will be going on with the incremental. So next in sequence is a function which will come from 1, 2, 3, right? So it will be keep on incrementing the value according to the input records. And open date, I just want to have the today's date. So we have a function called as today function. Okay, so once you done the mapping, you click on the validate button here. So the validation is okay. So click on the save button, close it. Okay. Okay, so now you can see the output here. Okay, you can see the full name column here, which will be mapped from first name and last name. And you'll find the sequence number, you'll find the open date, right? So all these values have been populated, right? So the full name column, right? You can see the data has been having more spaces, right? After last name, after first name also, right? So that is because we are working with the pixel length data, right? So if you see the data here from the input level, you'll find the spaces across the first name, last name fields, right? So you cannot see the data in this grid mode. You go with the formatted text output.
Okay.
Right. So this is my data, right? You can see the spaces here. That's why we are getting the spaces. So you can remove the spaces, right, in the transformation. So click on the concat this edit rule, right? You can edit the rule. So you can remove the spaces here, right? So you can use string lr_trim function of in.first first name. So this will be trimming the spaces. Okay, so again the string lr_trim on the last name also. So string lr_trim is a function, right, which will trim the spaces on the left hand side, right hand side also, right? So it will trim the spaces and then it will concatenate here. Okay, so once you see this, right, concatenation here, just click on OK here, save it. Okay, so you can see the data here. Okay, so you can see the full name here, the first name, right, and last name available. So you can see there is no space available, right, when you concatenate it. Because you remove the complete spaces, right, between these. So in order to have some kind of gap between the first name and last name, you're gonna add something else, right? So I want to add comma here. Okay, so you can see the data here back. The first name, last name, you can see the comma separated here.
Kumar, instead of a comma delimiter, can we use that space between the two fields, like first name and a last name?
Yeah, but you can see the first name is already having some kind of spaces, and then you don't identify right what it is.
Yes.
Okay, so you can have anything your wish, right?
And
Okay, so you
also
can.
there's
Uh-huh. Yeah.
there's a function for like extracting the today's date like today, and in my project I have somewhere see that they're using the now function. So what is the difference between the now and today's?
Now function is like a date and timestamp also.
Okay,
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 today function is about date, right? Now function is date and timestamp.
okay.
Okay, so here itself you can edit it, and then you can have some a space in between. Okay, and then you can save it, and then you can see the space also here. Okay, so you can see the data here. Okay, so you can see the space here, right, coming up instead of comma. Okay, so here also, right, suppose say if you're going with now function. Okay, you can see it will be right straightly going with the date format. Why? Because you provided date format in the output DML. Right? You provide date format. If you wish to define some kind of timestamp also, right? So go and change this DML here. Okay, and then you can provide some kind of milliseconds also, right? Okay, so this is like date time in the case. Okay, the data will be date time here. Okay, so you can see the date timestamp here. So when you see this in the text mode, right, view text mode, you can see the format mapping, right? You'll have so okay between the begin and states, right? You can see the mapping, right? How you can map. So you can see this is like a reformat function getting called. Out is for output fields, in is for input fields, right? And this is like assignment operator, right? How it's been called. Okay. So here, right, I just want to write a if condition also. You can write it out dot state. Right? If suppose say if indoor state equal to mn, right? If indoor state equal to mn, I want to map it with mh, right? Else part also we can write it. Else if indoor state equal to 0, okay, 0, I have to see. Okay, so in that case, right, you're mapping this way, right? First state, how you map. Okay, so you'll see a failure here saying that null value in assignment for outdoor state, right? Null value in assignment for outdoor state. That means why it is values. Ideally, we don't have any kind of null values in the source level, but when you go with this transformation, okay, when you go with the transformation, how this is been, the rule is been defined. The rule is defined in such a way that if it is mn, it's mapping with mh. If it is mapped with so, it will be assigned to ch. Okay, but what are the rest of the states coming from the input? You're not mapping anything, right? You're not mapping anything. So then it will try to assign null value. Okay, it will try to assign null value. But the state field in this output, right? If you go and see, what is the state field here? Will it accept nulls or not?
No, I think if we don't mention null or not null, it will default take as null, not null, right?
No, it is not null currently, right? It's not null currently.
Yes. So if we don't mention it, default is not null.
Right.
Okay.
Default is not null. So if you want to take this null values, then you have to mention that equal to null.
Okay.
Clear? Okay, if it is equal
Yes.
to null, then it will accept null values, right? But as it will not accept null, so it got failed. Okay, why? Because you have the abort on first reject option defaultly. Okay, so this is what we did, right, in the filter component. So if you are if you are saying never abort, right, now it will not fail. If you see, those records will be rejected calmly, and then your process will be completed successfully. See, this is the record condition. That means it will take the record, right, which is MN or CO, but rest of the records will be dropped. Okay, so normally we'll go with the abort on first digit, right? So in this case, you go instead of other input, right? Instead of leaving the other inputs, you can at least pass some kind of input value as it is, or right, you can specify some default value. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now, okay, so you can manage this way. So now you should not see any kind of here. Right. So you see, CH, MH have been getting a set, and remaining data as it is coming from the input. Clear up to here?
Yes.
We can
Yes.
define the variables also, where we call it as local variables here. Okay, so this is like commenting, right? So if you want to define the variables, you can define like this, starting with let, and then specify the data type you want, right, for the variable. And if I want to define like f underscore nm, so I'm defining the variable with string. So string underscore lr trim of in dot first name. Okay, and similarly you can go with the next variable. Okay, with dot last. Okay, so I'm using one more variable here, which is full name. So here I go with the concatenation of f underscore nm, comma, you can have a comma in between, and then la underscore nm. Okay, so you're using, right, these top two variables, right, in this third variable. Right? You're using these top two variables in the third variable, right? And then you're doing the full fu underscore nm variable derivation here, and then you can use this fu underscore nm derivation, right, in the full name mapping. Okay, so now you can see output. So we can simplify the things, right, by defining n variables, right? We can simplify things by defining variables here. Right? Then you can use this finally in the map. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll continue tomorrow. I have some work actually. Okay. So we'll see tomorrow. Continuation of this.
Okay.
Kumar, one question like, how can I install that VMware PlayStation on my laptop?
That Vamsi might have given some instructions, right? What are the things he have to do, right? With what he sharing. I don't know really like what he is sharing, right, and how it's been installed. So he will send some kind of right attachments and download and uncompress, right? What is the next step to configure, right? You need to get it from him.
He just gave me one link via WhatsApp, so I don't have any instructions. Maybe I'll check with him again.
Can you call him now? Can you call him and talk him, right? Okay, installation. Okay, link he sent. What are the steps involved, right? Just make a note and then follow them.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks. Then.
Thank you.
Bye.